So I got this Aldi brand hot chocolate because you know me, I love hot chocolate, but also cheap hot chocolate. That's what happens when you buy cheap hot chocolate. It doesn't taste the best, but it's cheap. I can't tell if I like it or not, but... And yeah. This mug. You can guess what I'm doing in this video. Today we're going to be looking at my own film and seeing how I made it, because someone actually commented and asked for me to make this video, and also I got a lot of messages on Instagram wondering how I did things such as the hyperlapses, the way I filmed it, and I also got a comment on the way I did my transitions, how I made them so seamless. So yeah, everything's going to be in this video. I'm going to be talking about how I did all of that. So it's going to be a long video, just saying, and I already know it will be. Gonna get straight into it, so let's go to the computer. Right, we are back, and I've got these big bulky headphones on. But yeah, let's get straight into it. So this is the After Effects file. It may seem overwhelming at first, but this is how I edit. I prefer using After Effects because there's more flexibility in what you can do. I believe the warp stabilizer is actually better, I believe, because you can like track the motions, and there's just loads of things you can do in After Effects. I think hyperlapses are easier to do in After Effects as well, as complicated as it may look. And also I'm used to using After Effects, as for about 6 years now I've been making some videos on After Effects and animated like intros as well. But moving from the motion graphics into the film industry, I've taken my skills in After Effects and incorporated it essentially. So yeah, this is everything in here. Everything. It's such a mess. Normally I try to keep organized. I always say, right, first things first, I'm gonna make folders. So I make folders. Let me just open up the folder actually. So I called the project Christmas because I didn't even know if I was gonna call it Manchester Markets or something. I just knew that I wanted to film the Christmas markets in Manchester because I've seen videos of it and I just saw how cool it looked and the atmosphere I could create using music and sound design and my visual skills and editing really. This is the folder. So we've got some drone shots here. Yeah, there's some photos. There's me trying to dab. What am I doing with my legs? Oh my god. But yeah, those are some photos. We got the autosaves. I also went into Premiere, as for sound design I prefer to use Premiere. So what I tend to do is I export the project. There's something about this that kind of scares people, is that if you multiple export projects, so like say if you export from After Effects and then put that video into Premiere and then export from Premiere and then upload that online, you may have some like really bad quality, but I don't think that's the case, as when you export from After Effects, if you use some decent settings at least, and then if you export with the same settings from Premiere, you will actually still be able to kind of retain that. You'll still be able to retain that compression, and when you upload to YouTube, YouTube compresses it by far loads. So like you're not even going to notice if it was compressed or not, the original file at least, because YouTube just basically kills the quality. But moving on, we've got, yeah, the two autosaves. We've got day one. I tried to organize this, so these are all the shots from the Canon. So I filmed this project on a Canon 5D Mark III, and we predominantly used a 16-35 2.8 constant L series lens. I'm not sure what mark, but I might be able to figure out and put a link in the description. And then I also used a 24-70 f2.8 constant as well, L series lens. And we did have a 70-200 as well, but that thing is just literally a Canon, pardon the pun. But yeah, we had one of those as well. And yeah, I brought a lot of equipment with me. Like I bought my gimbal, Zine Crane version 1, I bought mics, sound equipment, we had a drone with us as well, and then we had my camera as well, all the free lenses, and then also ND filters, SD cards, batteries. They all just pile up, and chargers. So I remember the day when I like bought this massive suitcase with just, well, it's not actually that big, but I bought this suitcase filled with stuff like my Mac and everything. It was so heavy. And then I also bought a camera bag with like a load of camera equipment in and my gimbal, and then I had my Vinter backpack on my back as well. And boy did I hate doing that. And the thing is, we didn't even use half of it. Like, we didn't use the zoom 72-200 lens, and like we didn't even use the gimbal anywhere in this video. Sound equipment, we did try to use the mic and the sound recorder, but instead we kind of we kind of flopped it and just said, right, you know what, we're just gonna use everything online. So I'll get into sound design later on. But yeah, we kind of kept it compact on the second day at least, because I remember bringing that zoom lens and everything, and god, our backs were killing by the end of it. There's even a photo of me just literally sat on the floor like, because I'm just dying. I was actually like just, it was very painful. So I really suggest, if you're going travel filmmaking, literally stick to one bag and that's it. Between two people, like, well, not between two, but like, if you're going with two people, which I did here, we both had one bag each, like a backpack. Yeah, just keep it compact. But yeah, I really love the color science on Canon cameras, so that's why I really wanted to use the Canon camera from university. So yeah, I don't actually own all this equipment that I've been saying really, but it's all from my uni, so abuse it while you can. Yeah, but I'm gonna just run through how I organize stuff. So yeah, we did shoot a nighttime hyperlapse as well. Fun fact. But I kind of quit halfway doing it because the problem was it just didn't look good enough. Like, something about the quality. The Canon 5D is quite old as well, and it was really hard to do at night time because there was a load of drunk people as well getting in the way, laughing at me filming, and it's like, ooh, take a picture of me, ooh, ooga booga. So I was like, you know what, screw it, we're doing it tomorrow. And yeah, that's what I did it tomorrow. So yeah, that's day one really on the Canon. Then DCIM is the Lumix which Harriet was using. That's a video. I think she meant to take a photo there. But yeah, this is, you can really see how it's more flat using Cine like D, retaining all those shadows and highlights. And then the Canon just the Canon color science is just so good, but like it really annoyed me that you couldn't shoot log on a Canon 5D Mark III. I know you can like hack the camera with like Magic Lantern. Yeah, I think it's called Magic Lantern, but it's a university camera, so I wasn't really planning on doing that, to be honest. So yeah, then we got day two, which is the exact same. I think the hyperlapse was the first thing I shot. Like, I wanted to get that straight out of the way. But yeah, so the hyperlapse was the first thing I wanted to get out of the way because the clouds were looking really good. And like, the thing with hyperlapses, which I still messed up on, I'll point out later, but you want to keep your timing right. So you want to take, so you know how you take steps and then you take a photo, take steps. But you might not. I mean, I'll explain how hyperlapse works later on. I may even put a time here where I explain how it works, but who knows if I can be bothered to do that. But yeah, I'll have a tutorial out soon on how I shoot hyperlapses. But in simple, it's a bit like stop motion animation. You take a step and you make sure something's in the center. But with the clouds, you want to make sure you do it timed right. So say if you're taking 15 seconds between each step, make sure it is 15 seconds between each step. Because if you pause for like 2 minutes, you're going to see a jump in the clouds. Which happens more towards the end of this hyperlapse. So yeah, but it's not that noticeable because it's going by so quick. So my focus point was the zippy right there, just right in the middle of between his eyes, and so I kept the plus kind of middle. Actually, I shot on the Canon for this hyperlapse, so I kind of had to guess where the middle was. There was like a little square thing in the viewfinder, but it wasn't as like accurate as a plus symbol like I have on my Lumix here. The GH4, but I managed to do it somehow. And then also there isn't a balance meter, which really made me worried, but warp stabilizer somehow kept in and helped out. But yeah, anyway, goddamn Snapchat, there's stuff getting in the way. So like here I really had to just guess, and I think I did quite a good job at guessing. But yeah, that's basically how it worked. And I think you'll see the jump in the clouds here somewhere. Yeah, right here. These two, so you see that one? Boom, it goes like right there. But before it was going subtly. So yeah, that's the jump. But yeah, I obviously waited a few minutes in between there, which I shouldn't have done. And yeah, we shot I shot another hyperlapse here. It's a very quick one. Got some Instagrams, filmed some more stuff. IGBTS, that's just behind the scenes that I posted on Instagram. Check out my Instagram down below, give me a follow. Thank you very much. Sound. So this is the sound recorder we used. I think it's in here. Yeah. So we did record some sounds. It was like atmosphere, and I don't know if I actually used any, but we'll find out. Tried selling some stock. Storyboard didn't go well at all. Yeah, and then I've just got a load of project files. So what I tend to do is I get scared about autosave, so I always just file save as and then call it something else. So like edit 2, edit 3, and then yeah, you get the point. So they basically are manual saves as opposed to autosaves, but I still have autosaves up here. I highly recommend doing that because you don't want to lose your files, or if your autosaves get corrupted, you've still got your manual saves. I think we can start getting into it now. Right, so I did do some sound design in After Effects. I think it was strictly just this bit. So this sound effect right here was downloaded from freesound.org, which I highly recommend freesound.org to anyone that isn't willing to pay for like Epidemic Sound or Storyblocks or any of those kind of stock kind of sound places. Yeah, because I'm a broke student that can't afford that. But yeah, Kangaroo Vindaloo. I think that was the user's name. So that's something confusing. It doesn't actually save as the file name, which is kind of something you get with premium services. But yeah, I recommend something like Epidemic Sound if you can afford it. But freesound.org is actually amazing, but it's kind of hard to find that right sound because there's so many bad sounds flooded in there, and you have to keep going until you find a nice sound. So wind was really hard to find, but I managed to find it. But yeah, drone shot. I've got these aspect ratio bars somewhere. Let me just hide these because I know these files are literally there just to, yeah, fill. Is this the one? Did I used to know that? So I've got an opacity keyframe just so it goes from 100 to 0, which lasts literally like quite a long time actually. Okay, maybe not. It's about 1.15, 15 being the frame rate, so 24 would take you to 2 seconds, so yeah, just under 2 seconds. I'm actually going to put these back on just because it's kind of lagging now, but yeah, this is basically the export. It's just a video file on top of the actual edit, but everything underneath should correspond to it. So yeah, we got drone shot going. I actually keyframed a Gaussian blur here, so you see how, well, you don't, but okay, so you see how like the drone shot here is really sharp and then it blurs out here, so that's done by a Gaussian blur effect, and that should be on here. Yeah, so it goes from 0 to 8 and it goes from 8 back to 0 as the text fades back out. So I really like using blur to enhance or make something stand out, so such as a title sequence or something, because sometimes it just doesn't stand out on its own, and yeah, it's kind of a cinematic way of making something stand out. And also, yeah, it kind of reminds the viewer of, like, you know when you get like shallow depth of field and it's like focusing on one thing and it's supposedly cinematic. Yeah, it kind of makes the viewer think like that, if that makes any sense. Probably not. I don't know what I'm doing. Next shot. This was one of the first shots I actually took. And the reason why I got kind of a load of macro shots is because you need to actually get a wide range of shots. One thing people forget is macro shots. And that's what I did in Pages of London, my last kind of big project sort of thing. I actually reached out to JBX Creative, who is Sam Calder's videographer, and I asked him for feedback, and he literally told me, you gotta get some macro shots in there, because it creates depth, it makes it more interesting, and it gives you a different perspective. So like these little things you don't notice are little details that make the atmosphere in the Manchester market, so that's what I really wanted to bring out and give the viewer that kind of mood. Happiness, Christmas, the spirit. Amen. But yeah, this macro shot was shot on a Canon, probably 24mm. Same with this one, how it goes from focusing on here to the reindeers back there. I really like this shot. It took so long to get this shot, you know, but I really like this shot. I think I had it at one point and then like how it kicked me over. There's me, by the way. My yellow hoodie just stands out so badly. But yeah, Harriet took this shot. Kind of wish it focus changed here, but it was probably because, you know, like GH4 focus sucks and you have to manual focus it. So one thing people forget to do with travel film is think about direction. These are subconscious things, but even with transitions, they're not as subconscious, because with transitions, you can really see how it's seamless. And this is how I get the seamless kind of transitions going. A lot of the transitions that I did were actually in camera and not done in post-production, other than cutting it together. So this one's very subtle, but notice how the camera goes from right to left, so it's going that way. Hopefully this doesn't flip, because I can't remember if the GH4 mirrors stuff, but it is going from right to left, so it's going that way. And then the next shot also goes that way. To be honest, it does stop like right here, so it's kind of not that good, but you get the point where I'm coming from. Direction's key, so try keep the same direction going. And also motion. Still shots kind of bore me and bore a lot of people, and like especially when the beat kicks in, you don't really want a still tripod shot. Like you want a lot of pans, a lot of whips. But yeah, that's with travel film. And I think with travel film, it's good to have the track beforehand and make the edit for the track, a bit like a music video. This might be weird because with film, you make an edit and then you make a score to fit that edit, which is the soundtrack. So maybe one day if I could get people to make scores for my films, that'll be awesome. But like, I enjoy editing towards a beat, like making music video kind of stuff. And I would consider this basically a music video, you know, because it kind of is, but the way it's like made. I think Harriet took this no, I must have taken this shot, because yeah, it looks like it is on the Canon. Yeah, so there's a little bit of noticeable I can't say anything today. There's a little bit of noticeable warp stabilizer in this shot here, but it's not too bad. You can kind of see it jiggling about around the edges. And this one here. But I think it's worth doing that, getting some nice steady ninja walking shots, to then use warp stabilizer on rather than pulling out the gimbal, which is why I really want a GH5, because the in-body stabilization on that thing is just basically a gimbal. But that with a gimbal is just insane. Yeah, these were shot on my Canon. I think Harry took this shot, yeah. I took this shot. So like, still shots are fine when it's slow and like building up the pace, but like, I wouldn't even consider this still, because it's handheld and it's also pulling focus to draw the viewer's attention to something specific in the frame. And then I took this shot. I think there's warp stabilizer on that. Yeah. Harry took this shot. I know. And like, even little things like the direction here as well is what I try to think about. So like, it's going up, so then the next shot has to go up, and then it comes down when the beat kind of drops into the next moving shot. So that's something I try to think about, but you'll see it a lot more when it comes to the actual beat drop and like when it's all getting intense and like it's all kicking off in here. Yeah. I remember seeing myself in the behind the scenes of this shot. I look so stupid. So like, on Instagram, I'm not sure if this shot I put in that Instagram edit, but on Instagram there is a behind the scenes video where you can see how, oh god, it's getting warmer in here. Sun's coming out. Yeah, behind the scenes shot on Instagram. Not sure if you can see this one, but I'm basically walking like this with my camera like, whoa, and then like everyone around me is probably thinking, what the hell are you doing? But hopefully I've somewhat proved the point on what I'm doing, who knows. I do some really weird stuff to get shots, just saying. Like, this isn't even weird. I'll see if I can think of something weird, but there's a little flicker in here, and I don't know why. I think like the file corrupted or something, but I managed to fix that, and that was a pain to fix. Like, I literally just stretched out the frame beforehand, and then yeah, so you basically see 2 frames rather than 1 and then the next frame, because it was just 1 frame that was bugged. Oh, it flickers again. I fixed that as well, just saying. So yeah, these were like German sausages. So I try to cut off the beat sometimes rather than always on the beat, because then it makes the viewer suspect that something's gonna cut here, which you don't really want that. You want it to be kind of unexpected for the viewer. Yeah, not have them focus on the fact that it's gonna cut here, but focus on the actual film. Yeah, this shot took like 100 takes. I really wanted to use my gimbal here, but like I really couldn't be, but it was so cold. So yeah, I had to pull the focus as well. It kind of looks like a gimbal shot, to be honest, but you can see the warp stabilizer there. Yeah, pulling focus at the same time, not enjoyable. And just little things like that. See how it's moving like that way, and then it cuts slightly with a bit of movement there. Right, you can really see the difference between my camera and then the Canon camera. So GH4, Canon science. Ooh. It just looks so much better. The shallow depth of field on full frame is amazing. See, like that motion I tried to replicate. It's something I saw in Watch Half Turkey. I think it might have been the bit where the guy gives the guy the pear. I don't know, but I seek a lot of inspiration from other filmmakers and try to incorporate it in my own work. Yeah, so that was an awful pull focus. You can see how shaky I was. I was like, I could have warp stabilized that maybe. Although warp stabilizer has a hard time when everything's blurred out, so... Right. So apparently I just exceeded the limit, so we're back. Yeah, so I was saying how warp stabilizer has a hard time... Where is it? I lost it now. Focusing on things that are blurred out and out of focus. So... I can't remember if I took this shot or Harriet did. No, Harriet took this shot, I'm pretty sure. Where is it? Where is it? Yeah, Harriet took that shot. That was a really good shot. Harriet like went from Manchester Arndale and then pulled focus to the bauble. She also took these 2 shots. And then this is my shots again. So like, you can kind of hear like the twinkle sound effects with the lights. So I try to connotate things like lights and make it with the sound design sort of, if that makes any sense. So if I hear something that kind of works visually and audibly, I'll mix them together. So the twinkle here as it pans down, it works with the sound. And how I did the transition is I have a transition pack that basically it pulls down, but the thing is with transition packs there's loads up, they all do the same, they all have these same transitions that go down, up, left, right, in, out, but there's one thing that makes them good if you know how to use them properly. So when you're filming, I believe someone's back. Oh, it's really bright here. Ooh. But yeah, when you're filming, try to move your camera down, up, left, right, depending on which way you want to transition in post. So I thought this would be a good shot to like go into it and then pull down, which actually worked out really well with the transition because it's seamless that way. Because if I hide this transition real quick, you can kind of see how I filmed it. And hide this layer. Okay, where is it? I'm lost. So yeah, I didn't necessarily pull all the way down, like down, but I definitely pulled down-ish, like yeah, like that. So, and then yeah, this shot is a hyperlapse as well. Totally forgot about this. So I didn't actually pull down into the hyperlapse, but that's where the transition kind of comes in and makes it seamless. And yeah, you can you can see the mask. So I'm just going to talk about the hyperlapse. So I think this was literally like 1 second hyperlapse or something. And yeah, it was of the Ice Village sign here in the Ice Village Manchester thing. There's like an ice rink that we really wanted to film, but we couldn't actually get up there and film. We could have paid like a $5 to go in and watch it, but we just didn't have that money. So we kind of stood on the outside, like with like monopods and everything, like trying to get the right shot. But yeah, that didn't really work. But I still included one of the shots in the actual edit. I think Harriet may have taken that shot, but we'll see. So yeah, this basically goes like that. Yeah, let me just show you how I did that. I actually don't think it's a mask. It's not a mask, no. So what I did here is I used a linear transition, which is literally effects. Right, my After Effects may crash here. Yeah, so you go to effects, you type linear white, and then it's literally this effect. And then where's the hyperlapse? Yes, oh god, there's a load of effects. RSMB, I haven't mentioned that yet. So with my hyperlapses, I always use this plugin called RSMB, which I used to use on intros in motion graphics and things like that. But it stands for Real Smart Motion Blur. It is a paid plugin, but there are other alternatives to make motion blur on your hyperlapses to make it more realistic. Because I shoot all my hyperlapses handheld, I'm unable to get that motion kind of blur with the shutter, which I think is better, but time consuming, and this basically gets the job done anyway. So yeah, I use RSMB, and I think there is CC Forced Motion Blur. Yeah, that's an effect you can use as well, but I prefer RSMB because it's smarter, I guess. But yeah, let's continue onwards. So yeah, I used a linear transition to literally just wipe up, and it really works with this motion, with the sign. Yeah, that definitely works. Right. Okay, where were we? Okay, so the drone shot. So I still use this shot, although it was, like I said, 720p because the SD card failed and we had to use the stream cache that was saved onto Harriet's phone. So it does look a bit bad, not gonna lie, but nobody noticed that. And plus it's uploaded on Instagram mainly and got the most views there, so... And it's just such a banger shot, like, it's actually the market, and it's in daytime, and it's when everyone's there. There's even a train moving in the background there, like a tram. It really establishes the scene. See, this is the problem when I make my projects. For some reason, they're so big and like they take time to save, and yeah, they just take really long to save. So I've been recording this audio for 52 minutes. Okay. So yeah, drone shot, awful quality, but on Instagram you really can't tell the difference. So I think Harry actually took this shot and I really liked it. It's a pull focus of all the fairy lights in Arndale. And then, so little things like this where the focus changes between both shots kind of makes seamless subconscious kind of transitions. Yeah, and then this shot's quite basic, nothing too special, just rule of thirds, shallow depth of field, and then I'm moving with her hand to try create that motion, and this is really good because the cuts are starting to cut as the music picks up. Like, notice how the cuts are more prominent. So yeah, some bears, some sweets, some burgers, I'm not sure if we actually ate anything really nice other than the dessert that Harriet got. Like, I know we got these things for £1, which was such a... they looked like they were worth it, okay? So they were these, like, I don't know, how do I explain it? They're about the size of this kind of thing, and essentially they were just covered in chocolate, and I was like, oh my god, imagine that solid chunk of chocolate. Second you bite into it, it's not hollow, but it's just filled with, like, not cream, but this spongy kind of thing, and it's just nothing, basically. The market is technically a scam, but it's really nice and cute, so it's whatever. And the mug that I got was worth it. Still got it, you know. It's not every day you get a mug that can go like this. I just spilled hot chocolate all over myself. So be right back for a hot second. Well, I'm afraid that this stain here is just not coming off, so you're gonna have to deal with it. God, I hate myself. Where were we? Right, yeah, we're here. These things made some cool noises, and I was thinking about using the sound that it made, like, because we did actually record the sound of the... Essentially, you rub some wooden stick against the back of the animal and it will kind of make the noise. So like, there was a frog and you rub it along there, it'll go something like that. Yeah, I was thinking about doing that, but then I thought, right, unless the viewer knows what that is, they're gonna have no bloody clue. What? It would just sound really out of place, so I kind of left it out. And then this bit, cut. Like, this is where the good stuff happens, man. Right. So yeah, I filmed a lower angle first, and then I filmed a higher angle. Got that wire. I think a phone would have been better, to be honest. I don't know why we didn't use a phone. We said we were gonna, but then we used the camera instead. Okay. Yeah, so I used the zoom transition here, and the thing is, we got the exact same framing of where the hyperlapse starts. I took inspiration from J.R. Ali's New York video, I believe, where it goes through the phone. But yeah, you can see how it's kind of seamless because what's on the camera is literally the same frame as the first photo of the hyperlapse. So like what I did is I got Harriet to stand there first, obviously took this shot, and then once she took it, I stood in her position where she was, and then I began shooting the hyperlapse. I moved from that point all the way to the other side of the road and took photos. Super seamless. And then yeah, you can see how the RSMB is really making that motion blur. It's quite obvious when you pause in between, just because the photo isn't sharp, but the second you start playing it, it's not that bad. So with this hyperlapse, I think I did 2 steps. No, I did 1 step. I remember doing 1 step. I think. No, 2 steps. One or the other. I did 2 steps or 1 step. And then I just took a photo and then just carried on. Like, I didn't wait a certain amount of seconds because I thought, yeah, it kind of works that way. It's fine if you do it like that. But the problem is the second you start waiting is when you see that jump in between. And yeah, that's like I mentioned earlier, you can kind of see it here in the clouds. Boom. But yeah, and this is where direction really takes its toll. So see how it's traveling from left to right. This cut isn't even, oh god, I clicked the wrong button. See, this cut is solid. Like, I filmed this in camera, there's no transition whatsoever here. And this is what I mean by direction. You don't even need some transitions half the time if you film in a specific way to build that transition, and it makes it more seamless that way. So literally just got a camera and I filmed these mini pancakes, I think they were called, and just went whoosh and then it went down. And I did that all in camera. That's the shot right there. So you can see how it literally solid cut to the next video. But that's what makes it that ever so more seamless. because it's already moving at a fast pace from left to right, and then it eases in. A bit like if you've ever worked with speed ramping and you know how continuous beziers work and like easy ease, all those curves and stuff. I'm not going to get into that now, but if you know how they work, you can kind of get what I mean by how it eases into it. It goes from fast and then kind of slows down. And then this bit here, I'm going to explain how I did this. So all of these clips here were also done in camera. I didn't go out thinking, right, I need a shot that goes like this, 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 I need a shot like this. You get the point, because it goes in a full circle and comes back that way. And yeah, that's how it works. Essentially, I got a shot that went down, that way, that way, that way, that way, that way, and then it goes into the next hyperlapse. But the way I got this was actually going through all our footage files, because originally I thought, right, this sounds awesome because you can hear the dun 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 of the bass, and I really wanted to. I'll get into the sound design part afterwards, and you can really see how I emphasized the bass, because I kind of added some like kick sound effects. I was like dum 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 dum, really bassy, on that part specifically. And the way I did these cuts that went in full circle is I literally went through every single shot, like even especially the bad ones. The ones that weren't even actual shots, just accidentally recording, and I looked at the direction in which the camera moved, and literally I was like, right, okay, this one moves that way, so I'm going to cut a bit of that. This one moves that way, so I'm going to cut a bit of that. And it took a long time to do this. Like, I think it took like 2 hours to find these clips, but honestly, down, round, full circle, just like that. Not full circle, more like 270 degrees maybe, because yeah, it doesn't go back down, it goes left. But yeah, so, and then you've got your so there is actually a transition here just to ease it out a bit. Okay, that kind of bugs me there, but so yeah, I used the whip transition going from right to left to make it more blurry and motion blur and like seamless. So that's what I tend to do. I use these transitions not to just put them in and be like, whoa, how do you do that? I do it more so to enhance what I've already done in camera. And I think that's something that a lot of travel filmmakers aren't doing. They just whack in a zoom transition wherever, and it's just like, it doesn't work there. I mean, it may look cool, like it looks unique, like not a lot of editors kind of know how to do this stuff, but it's getting to the point where everyone does, and they literally just look up camcorder transitions and they whack it on, and no. But yeah, and here as well. So the camera is literally going in a kind of like a roller coaster. So watch how it goes from right, and then turns down, goes in a round circle, comes left, comes into left, goes down, but then here is where the break kind of is. So yeah, it comes out from right to left into the shot, and then goes down. But the thing here is I then added some speed ramping. So this, I guess, is where the roller coaster kind of ends, and you start a new roller coaster of direction. So, and what I mean by that is camera direction, the way the scene's moving. So, or the shot, I don't really know what you want to call it. What's my hair doing? Ooh. So here, it's kind of going opposite, so it's going left, but then the next shot's going right. So it's like, I think this kind of works well though, because the shot's slowed down and it's kind of gone calm, and it's like going back into the roller coaster here. So here I've got a speed ramp, so it goes slow and then fast. Actually no, it comes in, yeah, this one comes in fast, so it's like a speed ramp, like, how do I explain this? So the way it moves here is suddenly going quickly, and then the next shot is actually done in post, so I sped up the footage coming in, slowed it down, and then coming out fast, and then same with the next shot after. It comes in really fast, but then goes out slowly. So you get that kind of seamless motion in the, you get that seamless kind of motion that you're looking for, and it's subconscious. It's not like, oh right, there's a clear transition, oh right, there's clear something going on there. It's really unnoticed, but at the same time it's appreciated. So the thing I like about this though is there's blue in this shot and it goes that way, and then the guy also rotates that way with his mug, and then the next shot as well, I'm not gonna spill it with the mug, just wanted to flex her, right, and then the next shot as well, where the mug here is literally, I love this so much. Continuity, right? If you get the same thing cutting between two shots or something looking similar, and I know what's his name? Captain Potter, one of the greatest travel filmmakers ever, does this in his films. I think Sam Calder does as well, but he probably has, I just can't remember an example. But I know Captain Potter does it in this Turkey film, where someone's smoking, and then it cuts to the fire of the hot air balloon in Turkey, and it's just like, I'll put a little clip on screen and you know what I mean. So, but this is kind of the same thing, rather than a cigarette and a hot air balloon. So the mug literally is the same kind of framing. Nose is there, red nose, and then the actual nose, and then it cuts to the same part. Oh, I love this, because you can just see it, because it's going by so quick. It's like, whoa, hang on a minute. Right. And then I like this as well, because it goes from wood and red to then wood and red as well. So like, you kind of think about things that work together, I guess, like the warm colours. And as it continues onwards from here, and I would say one thing, there's a lot of movement, if you haven't noticed already, while it's going through this upbeat kind of beat drop, the climax build up, really. Yeah, so focus pulls, cut, transition. So this transition here. So the way I did this is literally, you can see it, I masked out just around here and I tracked it. I'll see if I can actually show you. And then because the fade doesn't start until then, I just didn't really bother here. And then when it obviously mask starts, oh god, don't press that. Mask starts, and then it begins to fade. I put it on quarter just so it renders quicker. Fade, 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 and then literally the shot underneath is just how it is. It's just how do I explain this? Is it this one? No, it's that one. Yeah, so that shot's literally just there anyway. Nothing done to it at all. All I've done is literally just made a hole in this, like this little sweet pocket kind of thing. And the reason why it works really well here is because it's going forward into it, and then how it's obviously filmed this shot, and she's following me with the camera, and it's going forward towards me. So it kind of works like a push into the frame. This was actually on the first day. We were so like, I guess I was kind of nervous filming people, but like after this shot we got here, these guys were just so happy. The atmosphere in Manchester was awesome, but like everyone was like, I have reached the exceeded limit again, but we're back. Yeah, there's this one guy who was in a group of people. I was like, why are those guys filming? But he said it in a really weird voice, like, but we kind of just ignored him, because we had way more positive people coming up to us, like these guys, and like this is me literally just following them, like, oh my god, Harriet, we need to get a shot of these guys. And then like they turned around and one, I think it was this guy who was like, hey Santa, look, some guys want a photo of you. And it was like, I guess they're assuming that we're taking a photo, but I was like literally like this, like, yep, I'm taking a photo, just getting that cinematic movement. But yeah, oh, it's so good that Harriet was there with me as well, because then we had two different perspectives, so it cuts. Oh, I love this. And then when the rock goes, when the rock guitar thing comes in, I'm assuming that's the instrument, correct me if I'm wrong. These are my shots here. So it just comes out of here, out of the sweets or chocolates. And this was done in camera as well, and this is one of the most proud transitions I've done in this whole thing. Because literally it is just solid cut. There's nothing done there, no added stuff, no motion blur, nothing. It's literally it's literally all done in camera between cuts. And it just works so well if you do it in camera rather than adding an effect on. And then obviously going right to left. And then I guess this bit is kind of not really going the right way, which kind of bugged me a little. So like it's turning towards the right, but then it goes up. But it kind of works in a way that like the beat's cutting and then there's movement happening. So, and then when it comes down, it goes down into a shot. Yeah, I took so long filming this one shot. Like I did, I think 4 or 5 takes. I was like, come on, I want it to look good. But in the end, it did look good. Yeah. And then, yeah, it goes down here. And I actually added a linear wipe to this clip, similar to the one I did with the Ice Village hyperlapse thing. But yeah, I did that, and I think if I find it, I can explain how I did it. Not that I really need to, but it's basically the exact same thing as the one with the Ice Village. And I did have one of those cameras pulling down again as well, just to add that seamlessness, because at the moment it's literally going down, down, and then it unwraps, which kind of does work. Like it kind of works, but once you add this on top as well, it really makes it more, like, I don't know, more seamless. So once again, that's how I use transitions to help make the edit more seamless, but I don't just throw them in. Like you've got to apply them to things that are already moving in certain directions, or with zooms you've got to have an idea already built in your head. You can't just have a drone shot and then have a zoom and then it cuts to, I mean, it could cut someone in a car, like if you're following them with a drone, because that has continuity, but you can't just have a zoom and then be it like I don't know, a macro shot of like the grass. It's like, what are you doing? I mean, you could, but it depends on how you film it, really. I feel like I'm being really negative, but I'm just trying to help, guys. And then yeah, here's a masking shot. Not too sure what's going along there. I think if I hit it to full, that's a bit awkward. It's not that noticeable. I have found a bug in my edit. There's just a bit of the old clip from behind there. But anyway, yeah, so I've got a masking shot. Yeah, that's fixed kind of instantly anyway. Yeah, where's the shot? Have I hit the top there? Okay. Oh great, we're saving once again. So yeah, let's get that mask and show you how I did that. I did this in Pages of London quite a lot. A load of masking transitions. I guess this one here. So literally, I just, if I hide the mask, I can't even see it, the sun's in. If I invert it, you can kind of see what I've done. So I've just gone across a woman crossing and like literally tracked the mask. And if you want a tutorial on how I do this, I'll do one, just let me know. If you want a tutorial on anything in this video, I'll do it. Just, yeah, like I'm doing this one now. Someone asked if I could do an analysing video on my own film and show how I did it. I'm doing it now, so yeah, let me know. But yeah, I did a tracking mask just over her head, and then similarly to this guy, but he's here. I was like, where's him coming over here? So yeah, they just go over, and then this shot, I thought it'd be suitable to add like a little crop in here, just to make the beat more cut. So cut. Wait. There's another angle on this guy, but it's not in here for some reason. Is it in this one? What? It's not in there. Well, I did add another shot of this guy. Just saying. It's like I know my edit off by heart. To be honest, I did spend long nights, like I'm talking 6 AM on this edit. But yeah. So assume there's another cut there. And then there's these guys. Look at them. Cute couple just up there. Oh, there's another mask here, by the way. Which is not actually a mask. I think it's more of a luma key. Because the sky was pure white. Yeah, so is it a luma key? Yeah, it's a luma key. So literally I just took out the lightness in the clip, so the sky, as it pulled down, and literally if I hide that, all the clip is just a pan. Like, I'm literally just whipping my camera up towards the sky. So enable that. Right. Okay. So yeah, this guy was really funny because, like, this is what I love. We went there on the first day, and that was at daytime, and we filmed him, and he was like, "You can't film me." I'm trying to do his accent, not to be racist, but he had like I don't know what accent he had, but it was quite cute. It was like, "You can't film me, £10 for filming," and then he was smiling about it. He was laughing. It was a joke. And then the next day we came back and he remembered, and he was like, "Half price discount on filming, £5." And it was like, special offer, because he was doing that with his cheese. He was like, special offer, new bundle, and stuff like that. It was so funny. But it was funny because he remembered us. Such a smiley guy. Then you got a couple up there, and then you got macro shot of the food being made. And oh, I really love the lighting in this shot, how it's like kind of not anamorphic, but you can kind of get that cinematic feel from the lights. Like the lines here in the light kind of gives that anamorphic feel, even though it's not an anamorphic camera or lens. Shot on the Canon though, full frame. Actually, let me enable that layer on top again, just so we're not lagging. And then yeah, this guy. So yeah, I just want to talk about this shot for a second. So like, you've got to think about framing as well. Like, so there's leading lines, how the lines are going like from here to here, here to here, and then also there's depth of field. So, and I really like this shot because it's glass and you can kind of still see through it. It's a bit like, you know, when you see those photographers like Brandon Werfel and stuff use prisms and stuff to try film. Yeah, it's kind of giving you that effect, but without a prism. And it's really good to have things in your foreground, and then the subject, and then the background. That's something I really like doing, and that's what really creates depth in your films. And then your boy, this guy. So I was just trying to film him picking up the beer and drinking it, but I got something better out of it. So I think his wife or partner or someone was like, someone's filming behind you. So he's like, "You what?" And then obviously he assumed I was taking a photo, but I just think everyone just assumes I mean, he could have assumed I was taking a video, but I just feel like everyone thinks we're taking a photo nowadays, but no, we're video. Oh, he made it so good. And I think it really works at the end of the video when all the hype is going up and all the happiness and all these emotions are coming across. Oh, these guys were amazing. So they did a song about Manchester at the end, which was really cute, and it was talking about like mulled wine and the Christmas markets and all these things, and it really built the atmosphere. So they were like, na 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 Manchester, and then, but they had a really like innuendo remix of who is it? That Robbie Williams song, Candy, something like that. It was really funny. But yeah, I don't think I was really trying to film them at the time. Like, some of these shots were just randomly accidental. Which this shot kind of annoyed me. I wish I actually was filming them here, rather than having it just on my like strap or something. Because I think at this time I was just trying to get the audio rather than actual visuals, but then I came to the edit and I was like, damn it, I wish I actually was thinking about filming them like properly. But I don't know why, I was just in the moment enjoying it rather than filming it, I guess. And it still works out as an okay shot. It's just that, like, where's these guys' heads gone? And then it's just like, okay, so this guy's clearly short. It's like, right. And then, yeah, finishing on like a cute little bit at the end where people wrote some wishes on a tree. Yeah. Wait, what? This is something I also did. I extended this. There was way more messages on the tree here, and then it kind of finished on this drone shot. Once again, I think in the sound design I did use a wind sound again. But yeah, once again I'm using that fake snow kind of effect, even though there's clearly no snow there, but build that atmosphere. And yeah, so that's the After Effects bit done. Color grading, I did use a LUT pack from JR Ali, and I think it was it wasn't the M31 or M30, it was the LUT pack 5. It's this free LUT pack, I'm pretty sure, so not his newer one. Kind of gives that orange and teal desaturated kind of warm look. Yeah, so that's basically how I did it. And these are all the different compositions. Oh god, I think there's more, but they've just been closed down in here. Yeah, there's loads. Alright, spiral hyperlapse. Oh, that's that thing. Yeah, so that's the After Effects side done, and I'm just going to go into Premiere now and try and show you what kind of sounds I used and how I leveled them, faded them in and out, and where I wanted to use them and why I used them, because I think sound design is really important in any film, and I think it kind of builds that atmosphere way more than the actual visuals do. So yeah, let's just head into Premiere now. So yeah, I had that wind sound effect which was already in After Effects, so I didn't have to add it into Premiere, so that's just there. It's just faded in, faded out, just to kind of support the fact that there's snow and it's kind of building that Christmas atmosphere really. I got that from freesound.org as well. I think 90% of my sounds are from Freesound and the others are probably from YouTube. So this is also from Freesound. I think it was like London street atmosphere or something along those lines. Things like that, I think we should have recorded there and then with the sound recorder. This is just thinking later on in future projects from learning from our mistakes. So it would have been better to actually record more different kind of sounds, like atmosphere sounds, there and then. And maybe even here added a few sounds. But it kind of, with the kind of motion and like the panning, how it's so smooth, it kind of built that like Silent Dream kind of effect. How there isn't actually any sounds along with it, but I think there could have been some sort of sound there. And then I added it here just because there's like an exchange going on somewhat. And like I always have my sounds fade in before the actual kind of action, so you can hear the sizzling of the sausages before it actually cuts into the actual visual of the sausages, or even the fire, not the sausages, whatever really. That shot was actually taken straight out of camera. Harriet recorded it with the Panasonic Lumix, and we also had the Rode Video Mic Go on top of it, so we got that directional sound. And it really, like, the thing is, if you record your own sound like here, you can really see how the motion works with the sound. It's not a fake. So in this particular scenario it works well, better than any other Freesound would have. And then it fades out. Everything fades out, fades in. This took a while to do, so I was thinking the guy placing the cups, and the sound was actually also taken from my camera and the one Harriet was using. Yeah, so I really wanted to make sure I nailed that. So more atmospheric sound just here, filling in. So I'm not too sure what kind of sounds I could have put here and there, but I feel like that shot lasted less longer than that. I can't remember anymore. But yeah, twinkle. See, that twinkle really works because in the actual song there is a twinkle, but it's really subtle. So I actually downloaded a known twinkle kind of sound effect here. So there's also a little sound here, just like vroom kind of sound. And it just kind of emphasizes the beat drop and the bass. You don't actually notice it, but it does. I really wish I centered this a bit more. There was a twinkle sound effect here, I'm pretty sure, so no idea where that's gone, but there was. Pretty sure it's just the same sound here. No, it wasn't, it was a different one. Believe me on that, there was. So here we go, we've got some sounds of her rustling her paper bag around. Little things like that you've got to pay attention to. Sizzling of the buns. And then this is where, I mean, a truckload of sounds are. Like, just look at that. There's just so many sounds right there. I don't know where to start. I guess I'll just go in order. So, yeah, we've got the sound of the camera focusing and taking a picture. Right, I'm going to expand these just so I can see what they are. So this is it's fading in obviously, so you can't hear it that much here. But this is the tick 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 of the clock, kinda. I mean, that's what I was trying to emphasize here, because there's a clock there. It's kind of moving, to be honest. You can see it moving very slowly, but yeah. See, that's the benefit. If you film a longer hyperlapse, like you take more time in between takes, then you can actually see like a clock moving. I could have actually animated that clock now that I think about it. That's an idea for a later date though. And then yeah, you've got your toll bell. I actually took this same sound I used in Pages of London, which I got from Freesound as well. But yeah, I used the same sound that I used in that film for the Big Ben bell, and I put it right there as well. So there you go. I really like it. And then what sounds have we got going here? So I think this one's... So I don't even know how I got this. I searched like traffic, time lapse, and cars whizzing by, and then this came up. And it was literally just like fast cars and stuff, and it really works, like shoo 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 shoo. Because there are cars going by, so it really builds up that atmosphere, and that's what I mean, layering sounds on really helps. Then I've got a little beep of a car horn here. See, I think this was originally one beep. Yeah, and then I just went, right, we'll have two. What else sounds have I got here? That's it for that bit at least. And then I'm not too sure what this actually is. Camera flash whoosh. I mean... I just thought it suited for some reason, the way this kind of cuts in. It just really works, so I just whacked that in there. Not really thinking about it too much, but it works. And then we've got the sizzling of the mini pancakes. And now this is the bit where I mean the dun 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 dun. So you see just down here, where we've got these 4 kicks. These are literally like drums. And what I've gone ahead and done is I put 2 different layers. So they're actually peaking, which isn't good, but I think it's acceptable in a way that it builds up that kind of bass really high up. So it's like Like if you listen to this on full blast and like watch it in like a big screen, I can imagine it feeling so good, and like just because of that, it really works well. So like you can hear the bass here, dun dun dun, but then when it gets into this bit, it's like dun 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 dun. Oh, I love it. My SD card got full, and it got full quite early on, so you probably haven't seen my face for like half this video, but I'm back. Anyway, dun dun dun. So what I was on about here, yeah, bass. I think I've already talked about this, but yeah, the bass, it just really adds to it. And then, not too sure what this is. This, I didn't even remember adding this, but this kind of works, yeah. It adds that little whoosh to it. So many sound effects. So we've got some atmospheric sound here, and then we've got that ticking of the... See, this ticking is different from the other ticking. Apparently it's supposed to be some... I think it said bike last time, but no, the file's saying fast ticking. So it's kind of the spinning of that. And then we have more whoosh sound of effects added somewhere here. God, there's so many layers. Yeah, here. So this here. But yeah, there's a whoosh sound effect here. I think I downloaded these off YouTube. Whispers whoosh. I think it was some like JR Ali sound pack or something. This ice was downloaded. This ice sound effect I think was a free sound. Nope, not that one. See, I can't even tell which layer they're on. Like, there's just... Is this one? Nope, that's more atmospheric. Ah, here we go. Not sure what's going on there. Ice skate sound effect. Nah, I think this was downloaded off YouTube. But yeah, I remember adding a reverb sound effect. Yeah, a lot, 67%. Gives that really echoey kind of ghostly feel to it. And it echoes into the next shot, which I think really helps out. And then you got a whoosh kind of here as well. And then you got a... I think this is a ceramic set down, even though it's a pickup. And I think I edited the... I thought I edited the pitch a bit, but never mind. So yeah, someone just picks up their mug. And then yeah, little sounds here, so you can hear the little pinches of the... Is this the... Yeah, so you got atmospheric sound all the way through here, and you can hear the little pinches of the person picking up the stuff, transferring, picking up the bag. A little whoosh sound effect here as well somewhere. Yep, there it is. Oh god. This one here. Nope, that's the bag. I swear there's a whoosh here. Yeah, here we go. Get this in. Then I did a ho 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 ho. That really works there, especially with the music, how it's like getting to the next beat drop as well, building up that kind of like climax to the next beat drop, and then the next and next. And then on top of that, you've got those same 4 kicks that I've got there. And then I actually added some sleigh bells. So these aren't actually part of the track, but I added some. But the thing is, they're in sync with the beat of the track, and then later down the line they go out of sync, so I just left them in for only a little bit. And then we've got more whooshes. More whooshes. It's just whoosh after whoosh after whoosh. More atmospheric sound here as well. More whooshes here, whoosh here. There's literally a whoosh between each transition at this point, but yeah, so there's the shot, here it is. That's what I meant earlier when I said I swear there's another cut. I think I just added it in Premiere because I found it later on down the line. Yeah. And then the atmospheric sound really picks up here somewhere. These are actually from the clip itself, which is kind of cool. Forgot about that. Na 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 na. And then you hear them singing. Yeah, so this is where I added all the other clips. I'll get onto that. And I think this is really cool because then on the end, when the climax is fully built up and it's gonna hit and just end, they just scream out Manchester, and it's just a great way to end the film, really. And then, yeah, we've got some of this, some of that, some of these, some of that. How it's actually in this film somewhere. There's her hand. I mean, her hand's already in it somewhere. Kind of see her head. But that goes by so quickly, so I didn't really bother changing that clip, really. Because I couldn't find... That was a really good shot in general, so I, like, left it in. Yeah, and then it fades out. Pretty sure I did add wind on the end of this. Can't remember now, to be honest. And then it ends right there on the title sequence. And credits. Yeah. But yeah, if you did want to see any tutorials on anything I did in the film, stop playing, let me know in the comment section and I'll get on that now. I'm going to try push out more stuff like that and actually film some more stuff. If anyone's in and around Sheffield and you want to collaborate, let me know. And I know this was a highly requested video, so I'm going to share this on Instagram and see if anyone wants to know how I did anything. And yeah, sorry about my card failing halfway through. This little thing, 64 gig, is literally worth the however long I filmed, because I formatted this card before I started filming, but guess that went by quick. But yeah, anyway, that's the end of the video, so leave a like if you liked it, dislike if you disliked it, and let me know why you disliked it if you disliked it, and if you liked it, let me know why you liked it, and subscribe. Please. Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.